Loose for 300 green flag laps. Here they come. Green is in the air, and the outside row will get the jump. Chris Pastriak will lead him down into turn one.
And Doug Colby trying to take second away from Lutz, and he has power on the outside, and he is able to do it. As they helter-skelter their way, Colby wants the lead. He wants the first lap money as he dive bombs underneath Pastriak.
And Doug Colby will lead lap number one. Pastriak will follow him across. And John McKennedy right there in the number 79 into the third spot.
One car on the bottom by himself. That is Matt Swanson. He is battling Chase Dowling for the number 5 position. Right behind them is Nacella as Colby leads his second lap. And Pastriak has to worry about the presence of John McKennedy behind him.
Yeah, they are pretty much settled down now at this point. Single file down the backstretch with, of course, Colby out in front, the early leader, Pastriak second, McKennedy third. Then it's Lutz, followed by Chase Dowling and Matt Swanson, all in a straight line.
Eric Goodale got trapped on the inside, and he has been able to twist that car back to the outside groove in front of Sapienza, as McKennedy gets by Pastriak to move into second. So that was a pretty vicious move, orchestrated by John McKennedy.
Yeah, he flexes a little muscle there, and McKennedy coming all the way from the 6th starting spot up to second right now and follows in the tire tracks of Doug Colby.
That is a preview of the car he is going to compete with in 2022. Pastriak holding off Lutz for the top 4. Then it's Chase Dowling and Matt Swanson. That car much more effective on the outside groove as he is going after the back bumper of the Chase Dowling car.
One of the guys that is slicing through traffic right now is Ronnie Williams, who had to change engines after an engine problem in in practice earlier today. He didn't make qualifying, so he had to start at the rear of the field, and he's starting to slice his way through in the Casella 25.
Yeah, he has gone from 25th to 19th in only 7 laps. So it is Rocco being challenged by Justin Bonsignor. That is a fight for 8th and 9th. And also getting involved is the black number 16 for Ron Silk. Bonsignor looked like he was going to take off underneath Rocco, and Rocco protected the bottom.
They're all kind of testing their cars at this point. Nobody making any bold moves, and no reason to do so, as we're only 8 laps into the Thompson 300. In a couple of change of positions here, but as we mentioned, really the only guy that's passing a lot of cars is Ronnie Williams in that 25, and he wants to get back up with some of the drivers that he's used to going wheel to wheel with closer to the front.
Buddy Charette went down low, and he was able to climb back up in 18th place. Ronnie Williams now is in 16th, so he has gained 9 positions since the start of the race. And he has gone down low, so this is a move. It gives you some immediate success as he gets by Goodale. Now Colby getting challenged for the lead by McKennedy.
Yeah, McKennedy testing him over there in the third turn. Took a shot down underneath and couldn't make the pass, so he settles back behind Colby and decides to follow him down the backstretch till now. Then he pulls out a line, and he's going to try the bottom again. Colby trying to hold him off here out of turn 4. They're side by side at the stripe.
And Kennedy in the jet stream. McKennedy moves out in front, so we have our third leader, and it is McKennedy. Pastriak is third, followed by Lutz. And Ronnie Williams, he continues to jackknife his way through the field as Ronnie Williams is now 12th, picking up 13 positions in 13 laps.
Certainly on the move in that number 25. The lead pack has started to pull away. The final car in that lead pack is the 7th place car of Anthony Nocella. Then the battle for 8th has Justin Bonsignor, Keith Rocco, and Ron Silk on the move. Silk pulls out a line and gets underneath Rocco on the backstretch.
And not very far away, Andrew Krause at 11th, and Ronnie Williams looking to make a move as he thunders underneath the 24 car. Silk underneath Rocco. Let's see if he can complete the move. It's like he has suction cups for tires as he gets by Rocco. And Williams was unable to get by Andrew Krause. He's going to try it again. He gets by Krause, and he almost gets by Rocco.
Yeah, well, you remember that they have a little history going back to the Sunoco modified feature here this afternoon. So that'll be an interesting pass when Williams finally gets to Rocco. Let's see if all is forgiven since that altercation on the racetrack just about an hour ago.
Well, there's also been a little history earlier this summer at Stafford. So those two drivers are well acquainted, but they have a buffer in between them. Andrew Krause in the 24. Ronnie Williams doing a great battle against Bonsignore. And up at the front, McKennedy is cruising along with the lead. And Pastriak is closing in on the tailpipe of the Doug Kobe car.
A little further back, again, we've been following the progress of Ronnie Williams. He finally is able to make the pass on the 24 of Andrew Krause, and now he's taking a run down underneath Rocco and slides right up in front of him and takes the spot away without altercation, at least for now.
And Ron Silk going after Bonsignore. On the last lap, he was halfway underneath him. This time, he was about 75% underneath the 51 car. Ronnie Williams is right behind him. And one thing we've learned about Williams today, he can erupt like lava out of a volcano. So you take your eye off Ronnie Williams and you could be missing a pass. He is in the top 10.
Anthony Nocella has gotten around Chase Dowling to move up to the 6th spot in the 92. Dowling back to 7th, and that's that lead pack of 7 cars. And you've got to go almost half the straightaway back to Justin Bonsignore running in 8th and Ron Silk in 9th.
Now Pastriak, he has an idea against Kobe, but I think the lap caller, Josh Sentak, kind of eliminated a potential pass by Pastriak, and now he has to be concerned about Craig Lutz in the 06. So Lutz running a strong 4th. Matt Swanson right behind him. Then Nocella 6th and Dowling 7th. And nobody has an answer right now for John McKennedy.
No, McKennedy has set a good pace and remains about 5 car lengths over Doug Kobe down the backstretch. Pastriak feeling some pressure from Lutz in that 06. Lutz in for Sammy Ramo this weekend. And he keeps taking a look to the inside of Pastriak. That time through 1 and 2, Pastriak kept the car on the low side.
Now it is Ronnie Williams approaching the back bumper of the Justin Bonsignore car. And Bonsignore going high through turns 3 and 4 to keep Williams away from him. Krause is behind the 25. So that's a pretty good battle with Silk in 8th and Bonsignore in 9th, Williams in 10th. But John McKennedy, he is ready to meet some of the slower cars. John Montesanto in front of him, and he is able to blow by him. No issues there. And maybe Kobe gained a little ground. We'll see if he can maintain his momentum.
Yeah, different drivers trying different parts of the racetrack just to get a feel for it, particularly for later on in the race. Finding the sweet spot, if you will, at least on this set of tires. We've got 27, soon to be 28 laps into the Thompson 300.
And Kobe, it looks like he has settled back in to second place. Silk is pulled away from
Swanson who holds the 5th spot.
Now McKennedy, maybe that car just took a little siesta because he turned on the juice and now leads by 0.8 of a second. So McKennedy back as a toenail. Room on the inside for Bonsignore as he tries to blast his way underneath Lutz, and he does. Bonsignore, he was in 8th place a few moments ago, and now he is in the top 4. McKennedy might have an issue with some slower cars in front of him, racing side by side, Emmerling and Sapienza, and that will kind of bottle up McKennedy we'll see if Kobe and Pastriak can take advantage of that.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good traffic in front of him. The passing flag is out.
And that double file battle breaks up between Sapienza and Emmerling. And McKennedy gets by Emmerling and now is going after Sapienza. And that was a little hair racing because when there is a double file battle in front of you, the leader is at a disadvantage. Now he goes around Tommy Barrett. Well, the lead for McKennedy is still 0.8 of a second.
The guy on the move is Justin Bonsignor. He's just cutting around Doug Kobe. And on the clock, he is turning in some of the faster laps out there, faster than the leader last time around. So he is certainly on a tear.
Well, we'll see how Bonsignor handles the slower traffic in front of him as they are racing hard. And Bonsignor was able to get by Emmerling. So Bonsignor had some magic as he was able to Vegematic his way around the slower but racetrack.
Bonsignor again
underneath Emmerling, but up. Now remember, if it stays green on lap number 7.
That's how he's able to maintain the space. He's going to have to pick his way through, again, some of this traffic that's going to go down a lap. And among those cars that could go down a lap is Chase Dowling, as he's now getting past.
And he goes around. That could be our first caution, and it is. As first yellow on some pit stops, I think we'll try to catch up on our races from Holden. Number 26, Waddell, Jim Morissette. Number 31, 35. See a crew, a cavalry charge on pit road.
Yeah, the green flag for pit road has come out, and you'll see pretty much the whole field make its way down, and let's see who's going to be the quickest and win this race on first, which has been the case on just about everybody down there. And Justin Bonsignor pulls out with the fuel can and the
I think he saw and
out of the car onto the can trying to.
But he watches pit road. Lap number 44. Doug Cates sponsoring escaping. Lap number 55. The Thompson Speedway track crew. 56. Waddell Communication Tavern in memory. And we are ahead of
in the 92 look just
in third now.
Green flag is in the air, and Ron Silk will lead him down into turn 1. Justin Bonsignor with him. Then Eric Goodale for third. Andrew Krause out to fourth.
Bonsignor looks like he's on a mission as he looks serious against the 16. Goodale in third. Then in fourth it is Krause, and Mike Christopher Jr. is rounding out our top 5 as we approach lap number 60.
The guy that made an unbelievable move was the 79 of John McKennedy as he went 3 deep out of the fourth turn, pretty much down on the apron to pass 2 or 3 cars, and continues his march to the front, doing it down on the inside.
Goodale looking for racing room against Bonsignor. We'll see if he can find it. Not yet. Here is McKennedy approaching the back bumper of Mike Christopher, a car that McKennedy drove on the Whelen Modified Tour, and he gets about halfway there, and Christopher pulls away.
Here's a challenge for the lead, right between the first and second turn. Bonsignor takes it down to the low side on Ron Silk. Can't make the pass that time, and he'll follow Silk through the turn. He's got Eric Goodale all over the back bumper through that third and fourth turn.
And Goodale trying to put some leverage against that car of Bonsignor. McKennedy going out of line. He is going after Krause. That is a battle for fourth place. McKennedy with a power surge. He is in the jet stream. So McKennedy has had success going on the inside as he still works his way against Andrew Krause.
Yeah, John McKennedy trying to make a statement here this afternoon after the news that he will not be returning to Tommy Baldwin Racing on the tour, and instead will be driving for a new team. And because he makes a living at this racing, it's got to count for him.
Now, if we don't go with a caution for a long period of time, The next one will come out on lap 133. McKennedy, he is not waiting for yellow. He is trying to dive bomb his way underneath Goodale, and he is torpedoing his way into the top three. So now we have a great battle in the top three between Silk, Bonsignor, and McKennedy.
Yeah, McKennedy has passed the most cars since the pit stops. The other guy on the move is Doug Kobe, trying to get back to the front. He's working the inside of Mike Christopher down the front stretch.
And McKennedy almost had a little room, a little shove from behind to the back bumper of Bonsignor. Now Goodale in fourth. McKennedy is on the move as he tries to rocket underneath the 51 of Bonsignor. As they cross the line, Bonsignor is able to hold them off for now.
Yeah, for a guy that says, I make my living driving race cars, McKennedy would like to get back to the front and pick up that bonus money, that lap money from the sponsors that you've been mentioning, Matt. And he is on a tear now, back up to third spot and looking to the inside of Justin Bonsignor out of four.
Yeah, he's not only headed for the lead, he's headed for the cash register. Right now, he's headed for Justin Bonsignor. Got halfway underneath him. Let's see what changes in turn number three. Power for McKennedy as he is able to vapor trail his way underneath Bonsignor, and the driver with the voltage is John McKennedy.
Yeah, McKennedy hanging tough down there on the bottom.
Well, he's the only guy who's really had a lot of success there. A three-way battle for fourth. Here is McKennedy. He could go 2 for 1. He got by Bonsignor, now he's going after Silk.
Boy, he made that thing stick down on the bottom out of turn 4, and yeah, he's going to get by Silk and drive right up in front of him and become the new leader.
Goodale and Krause continue to battle for fourth place. Behind him is Mike Christopher. Kobe is back in the upper tier of the field as he is behind Mike Christopher, and then Craig Lutz, he is behind Kobe. John McKennedy has come from the wilderness to take over the lead as he has the advantage on lap number 71. Remember, there will be a competition caution on lap number 133 unless we get a normal caution. And Christopher making a good move, getting by Goodale. So Mike Christopher, he has some power in car number 7. Krause trying to slice his way underneath Goodale. Well, Andrew Krause has had a great race. He had a stretch where he was almost unbeatable this year at Wall Stadium. Now Kobe putting some pressure on Krause. It looks like Nick Anglace is on pit road, and that's silver number 4. Well, McKennedy has opened things up against Ron Silk. Then it's Bonsignor and Mike Christopher. He has gotten quicker over the last handful of laps. Kobe looking for room on the outside of Krause.
Yeah, Christopher's got some of the fastest laps out there right now, sort of mirroring what John McKennedy's doing up front, so he's definitely on the move.
Well, that's the car McKennedy used to drive. And he is trying to shrink the advantage for Bonsignor. Eric Goodale, the only guy who is...
Lap number for weather. So we're going under caution.
44, 9, 59, 31, 92.
In the wilderness to take over the
racetrack. He wanted to go, yeah, that's important to John McKennedy.
Have this lap number 70, Krause and John Blue of Westport
Racing. The lap number 9, Brookside Equipment.
And we will continue to go back.
So with a Carl Williams.
And let's see what McKennedy does. He is a powerhouse as he overwhelms Silk and he blockbusters his way into turn number 2 with the lead. Bonsignor tried to get underneath Silk, couldn't do it, and Mike Christopher getting around Bonsignor to move into the top 3.
Yeah, Christopher with a great run going. Now Andrew Krause will work the outside of Justin Bonsignor, trying to take the 4th spot away, and does. He clears Bonsignor and goes into a clean 4th.
And now Lutz trying to torment the back bumper of the Bonsignor car. Double file battle. Kobe on the outside, Goodale on the inside. Pass react is a factor, but nobody can catch John McKennedy, who is able to rampage his way into the second corner. Double foul battle between Mike Christopher and Silk, and Christopher almost got by the 16 car.
Yeah, Silk is able to pull him down the backstretch, and Christopher stays right there, kind of hanging on the back bumper of Silk. Behind him, Kraus, Bonsignor. Then it's Craig Lutz and Doug Kobe next in line.
And after Kobe, it is Goodale. Kobe on the move as he tries to shuffle his way underneath Lutz, as he machetes his way underneath the 06, and Doug Kobe is moved into the top 6.
Kobe with a march coming up, and here's Chase Dowling going on to pit road. The problems continue for Dowling in the number 9. He is on to pit road here on lap number 80.
Boy, that car was right for about 15 laps, and then he had problems. Mike Christopher not having any problems getting underneath Silk. Now Bonsignor is in a battle with Andrew Kraus. Kraus on the outside. He is in 4th. And Bonsignor, he has to worry about Kraus, but there's also a guy behind him he has to be concerned with, Doug Kobe.
Yeah, those old rivals are going at it for position right now. Bonsignor has that spot. That is the 5th position. Doug Kobe like to break back into the top 5.
And right behind him is Lutz, Eric Goodale. He has had his moments in this race, trying to have one now, and he is unable to get underneath Lutz for the time being. Up at the front, a huge lead for McKennedy by 1.05 seconds.
Yeah, he continues to really show the way around, though on the clock, not the fastest. Mike Christopher last lap had a faster lap, and does again this time. Ron Silk just a tick faster than Mike Christopher.
Bonsignor looking to get by the 23 car. So McKennedy, it looked like it was a lot closer a couple of laps ago, and now the time to
Ronnie Williams to be able to, his problem started earlier today when they lost the cars.
pretty right now. He's in 8th. The one he is concerned with getting direct deposit for John McKennedy. Well, Ronnie Williams trying to fight back against Nisella, but he is not on the lead lap. And McKennedy, he is in class of the field. Trouble for Ronnie Williams as he is blocking the track in turn number 4. Caution comes out on
Tailing a little bit long ago, so and we'll wait and see if any.
So 6, 10 in memory, Racing Electronics, 119. And your sponsor for lap number 120, Kevin's Automotive of West Boylston.
Pits are open, and we've got takers and some fakers, as a matter of fact. The John McKennedy car comes down, and Mike Christopher was behind McKennedy like he was going to come to the pits, and he darted right back up behind the pace car. So we've only got a handful of cars this time, but some of the guys electing to stay out there.
As Goodale is all like
To work on Keith Rocco's number 50 flag was still on pit road.
yellow laps. So the and just here cars.
There are at least
Kennedy can move 79 car. Flying for keeps. Good luck. Come on, my 3 sons sales.
in the air.
And on a tear is Mike Christopher as he is able to get the upper hand against Silk. Kraus on the bottom. Let's see if he can survive there. Bonsignor gets by him. A little nudge by Kraus as he tries to hold off Anthony Nisella.
Yeah, Nisella on a tear up on the outside of Kraus, trying to take that spot away, and does. Nisella goes to the 4th spot.
And in 5th is the number 06 of Craig Lutz.
Trouble on the
mess.
Trouble on the backstretch as Patrick Emmeling in trouble. A tire has come off.
That is him in the front row. Bonsignor and Nisella in the second row. And it is party time. In the 300, a little wiggle by Christopher, but it doesn't stop his momentum.
Green flag sends him down into turn one. Christopher out in front. Now a good battle between Silk and Bonsignor for second spot. Anthony Nocella on the move in the number 92.
Those tires got a little itchy for Christopher on that restart, and now he is pulling away from Silk on the inside just in Bonsignor. It has been very tricky to pass it that way. Nocella trying to get him back on the outside, and Nocella breezes by Bonsignor. Here comes Silk, going for the lead.
Yeah, Silk wants a piece of that prize money for the sponsored laps as he'll lead lap number 103 across the stripe. Silk is the new leader, but not for long. Look at the move by Anthony Nocella down on the inside. So Nocella is the new leader on the backstretch.
Nocella saw the opening when Silk took the lead, and it's Nocella to lead this race for the first time for him. Bonsignor in fourth, Kraus on the bottom. Well, some drivers have had a lot of success there. Craig Lutz trying to swerve around him. Then it's John McKennedy running in seventh. And if we learned anything through the first 104 laps of this race, is to pay close attention to John McKennedy.
Yeah, he's methodically working his way back towards the front.
And right now, a double file battle in front of him. So kind of bottled up right now is McKennedy. Nocella pulling away from Silk. Christopher, who had the lead, dropped back to third. And right now, McKennedy getting by Lutz, going after Kraus. Not that time.
Yeah, he's down on the bottom. Now he is clear of Lutz and will stick the nose down underneath Andrew Kraus going down into turn three. Can't quite make the pass through the middle of the turn, but as he gets back on the throttle, he is clear of Kraus and picks up a position.
So McKennedy picking up 2 spots since the yellow came out on lap number 101. Bonsignor working on Mike Christopher. Here he comes as he tries to thunder his way underneath the 7 car. Now McKennedy is a factor as 3rd, 4th, and 5th can fit in an Easter egg. Refusing to crack under the pressure is Mike Christopher.
Meanwhile, up front, the Ant-Man, Anthony Nocella, continues to march away from the rest of the field. He's got himself a good, comfortable lead right now, and the last couple of times has turned in the fastest lap out there.
And it is tight for 3rd and 4th between Christopher and McKennedy. So McKennedy has been able to pass very successfully on the inside. He is going to try to pull it off there as they come out the other side of turn number 4. It is John McKennedy in 3rd place.
Yeah, McKennedy again mounting that march back to the front. He'll go to work on Ron Silk this time.
Has picked up 4 spots in the last 9 laps. Bonsignor, he is working against Mike Christopher, and he is going to bombard his way underneath the 7 car. Andrew Kraus refuses to wilt, and he is still in the upper portion of the field. Behind him is Goodale. Then Keith Rocco making a move in 8th and Lutz in 9th. And Anthony Nocella, he looks very comfortable in the lead.
Yeah, he continues to show the way around, but John McKennedy is on a tear to try and catch him. In fact, McKennedy almost 0.3 of a second faster that last lap. So he has evaporated the Nocella lead and now is within a car length as they cross the stripe on lap 113.
0.183 seconds, the advantage for Nocella. McKennedy has done a lot of his work in turn number 3, and he goes to work there and makes it look easy.
Yeah, he just dive bombed right to the bottom, drove by Nocella, slid up in front of him, and is the new leader on lap 114.
Boy, he wants lap money, doesn't he? As he is back in front. On lap number 101, when the green flag came back out, he was in 7th place. So in 13 laps, he gained 7 positions.
We talked about this before, that in the last open modified Wednesday night race here at Thompson, McKennedy was the class of the field. We saw this then also, where he marched to the front and was so solid in the front. Then a mistimed pit stop. He didn't come when the other cars came to change tires, had to come later, and then never made up the difference. So let's see.
And this was different strategy so far today.
Yeah, so let's see what this strategy turns out to be here this afternoon.
And he actually made that extra pit stop when some of the front runners did not come in. And he has a substantial lead over Nacella, with Silk, who has been in the top 5 all day, in third, followed by Bonsignor. Now Kobe trying to move up. Remember, Kobe got a piece of that altercation on lap number 101. Almost got underneath Tommy Barrett, but couldn't complete the move. So Kobe has had a lot of experience in these long races. And Barrett is going after Craig Lutz, and that is a fight for the number 9 position. Mike Christopher in 8th, and we have yellow.
Got a spin over here.
You're pitted. We might be seeing came in past react. Have a lot of
ready on pit road, and yeah, a lot of the front runners go. Justin Bonsignor
was almost past react. Kennedy pitted like a 42. So it's very interesting.
Start them with a next
to the restart on the inside.
Green flag is back in the air for the restart, and McKennedy gets a great start, drives around Eric Goodale to get back into the lead.
Taking advantage of the outside opening, Tommy Barrett, as he trails Goodale. And now Rocco is jackknifing his way underneath Barrett to try to get back into third place. Ronnie Silk is in the top 5, and Kraus is next, and McKennedy is starting to pull away again.
Starting to pull away, yeah. Silk is the first of the cars that pitted on that caution that just happened. Andrew Kraus right behind him was also on pit road, as was Matt Swanson and Justin Bonsignor. So that's the group of cars that just came off of pit road. And they're trying to advance at this point. There's a move by Barrett down on the inside of Rocco, the race for position of third.
Now under fresh tires, Mike Christopher immediately went to the bottom to try to get by cars. He is now 10th. And Anthony Nacella, who had the lead before the pit stop, is 9th. I think with fresh tires, you can be a little more adventuresome on the inside groove than you can later on in the green flag run. Ronnie Silk, that's being aggressive as he gets into 4th place as he leaves Tommy Barrett by the wayside.
Yeah, he's the first of the cars that just pitted, and he gets around Tommy Barrett. Matt Swanson's trying it now in that number 3.
Swanson did pit, and he is able to get by Barrett. And moving there right with him is Bonsignor, car number 51. Bonsignor just came out of the pits. Now Nacella making a racket. He gets by Barrett, and he is going after Bonsignor. And what does McKennedy do? He just extends his lead to almost 1 second over Eric Goodale.
Yeah, Anthony Nacella is up to 7th, shuffling Tommy Barrett back to 8th. Now Mike Christopher is working him over.
And he went on the inside to get by Barrett. And Mike Christopher has moved into the 9th position. Craig Lutz, he is able to rabble-rouse his way underneath Barrett, looking for position. He takes a very interesting angle out of turn number 4, and he approaches a back bumper of Mike Christopher.
Rocco, meanwhile, puts the moves on Eric Goodale to take over the 2nd spot. Goodale shuffled back to 3rd, and just behind him, Ronnie Silk and Matt Swanson.
And both Silk and Swanson have fresher tires than Goodale and Rocco. Nacella has done a good job since the race resumed on lap number 118. And here is Bonsignor as he is able to stampede his way underneath Matt Swanson. And now he has to, Nacella is behind Swanson. Look at Bonsignor go as he wastes little time to get by Goodale, and now he's chasing after Ronnie Silk.
Yeah, Silk was all over Keith Rocco a lap ago, but now he's got to contend with Bonsignor, who's fighting him on the bottom.
And it is a pretty stiff fight. Bonsignor settles in behind the number 16 is Silk. We'll see if he makes another thrust. Rocco is in second, and here comes Silk. Silk might have felt the heat of Bonsignor, decides to take matters into his own hands as he is able to trampoline into second.
Yeah, makes one of those Keith Rocco moves on him and drives down underneath and slides back up in front. Bonsignor does the same thing going into one, so just like that, Rocco goes from second to fourth.
Yeah, the victim of a couple of Keith Rocco moves. Turned on Keith Rocco. Right behind him is Goodale. Nacella trying to squeeze in front, making a move against Goodale. He makes it work. He's going after Rocco. Could this be a double whammy for Anthony Nacella? And he has not given up to work against Rocco.
Yeah, drives down underneath, makes the pass, slides up in front of him out of turn two.
And another Rocco move. So he's seen some of those, and he might see another one here from Mike Christopher, as Christopher is able to swoop underneath the 57, and he takes Craig Lutz with him. So the guys with the fresher tires who made the pit stop are moving up, but McKennedy still has the lead at last hook. It was 1.1 second over Ron Silk. But the people who pitted on lap number 118, Pete, Bill Kraus going underneath Mike Christopher as he is trying to twist underneath that car, and the excavation move does not work, and Kraus falls in behind Mike Christopher.
After being involved in that skirmish on the back stretch, Chris Pastriak's got a pretty good run going. He's up inside the top 10 in the 75 and keeping a pretty good pace at this point.
And Swanson and Goodale behind him. So the lead between McKennedy and Silk is now 0.473. And a few laps ago, it was 1.473, or in that neighborhood. Now the next,
I was going to say,
we're on the same wavelength.
That's right. The next guy in danger going down the lap is Doug Kobe, as the leader, John McKennedy, is really closing on him. Kobe goes across the stripe right now, and then there goes Kennedy. So McKennedy is closing on him.
And that is not what I was going to say. The next yellow flag, if we don't have a natural one, it would be on lap number 176.
Passing flag is out for Doug Kobe, as McKennedy has caught him and about to put him down a lap. So something amiss on that Mayhew Tools number 10 as he gets passed by both McKennedy and Ron Silk. Cross flags are in the air this lap. 150 down, 150 down, 150 to go in the Thompson 300.
And Ron Silk is only trailing by 0.165. So a tenth and a half. The gap between first and second. It is even closer than that now, as trying to blast his way underneath McKennedy. Ronnie Silk going for the lead.
And he gets it done going down into turn one, gets underneath McKennedy, then drifts up in front of him just in time to go around the lap car of Buddy Charette.
And that was a Cindy Burdick lap that Silk led, lap number 151. And McKennedy now might have issues between him and Bonsignor and Nacella. Remember, it's been a long time between fresh rubber for John McKennedy, and now Silk is going after Andrew Moeller, trying to put.
It'll be lap 193.
That's been a frequent 2 laps down. Is the last car on
again in that accident. Silk in a comfortable lead.
But that car getting rid of the yellow flag. Here comes Bonsignor. And not a smooth exit off of turn number 4 for McKennedy. And Bonsignor makes him pay.
Well, McKennedy knows he's got a fast car if he can stay up there within the top 5, and he gets that caution that he needs and comes to pit road, because I think with the length of this green flag run, just about everybody will come. So we'll have to see, but we're at, it'll be lap 160 next time by, meaning we've got 33 laps till the competition caution, unless something happens between then, and certainly John McKennedy does not want to be the caution. And you're right about the twitching the car does, as you saw him bounce around a little bit, getting passed by Anthony Nocella that time.
As we call it, a caffeine twitch, and that is a malady that McKennedy faces. There has been nothing in on the wall.
Batches of him quickly.
And that has been, he gets by angle, is, and we'll see who goes in. I think at the top of the list,
Pit road from in turn 4.
Pit stops. And the red
from the tow truck. The
vision will go. Kennedy is due to come in, yes. And Mike Christopher said yes, and McKennedy said no.
Yeah, interesting. Yes, stay out. Doug Kobe, the first to go back. And finally, Doug Kobe.
Kobe Thompson, Rocco, good 63, did twice for time during the course. So it's his rival. So he and Silko did not. It's been a very competitive now.
Green flag is back on the field. And Ron Silk will lead him down into turn 1. Justin Bonsignor will pull right up behind him for second. Then it's Craig Lutz for third. Here comes Mike Christopher with a head of steam on the backstretch. He gets around John McKennedy. McKennedy shuffled back to fifth. And now Chris Pastriak working the inside of McKennedy.
And Craig Lutz out in front of Christopher in the fight for third place. So the top 4 could fit in a lunchbox. The feast right now is enjoyed by Silk, but Justin Bonsignor, I wonder when he is going to try to bottom shot the number 16 car. It hasn't happened yet. And an even closer battle for third and fourth between Lutz and Mike Christopher.
And just behind them is Chris Pastriak, finally making the pass on John McKennedy. McKennedy now under attack from Anthony Nocella. Nocella, one of those cars that was just on pit road, keeps McKennedy on the high side and makes the pass, and while the bottom's open, here comes Doug Kobe.
I'm surprised that Rocco dropped back. Maybe that is part of his strategy. And it looks like Bonsignor is poised to strike like a cobra. Here he comes, down low, as he tries to thunder underneath Silk, and it doesn't pay off. We made a good shot, however. Mike Christopher, remember, he has fresher tires than the 2 guys in front of him, so we'll see if he can put those to use. And Bonsignor didn't go down to challenge Ron Silk. Pastriak is in 5th. And right behind him, Anthony Nocella and Doug Kobe. Remember, we were talking about how he was struggling early on. It looked like that car has some vitality.
Yeah, but he needs to pass the leaders to get back on the lead lap. Kobe still scored in the 12th position, and we'll have to wait and see how he's able to do out there. But he's been kind of reborn, if you will, because that car has really come to life. Meanwhile, the car that has not come to life since the green flag is John McKennedy. He continues to be passed and keeps falling back on position, already back to 11th spot in that number 79.
And Doug Kobe, 1 lap down, but he is the number 1 car that's a lap down. So if there's a yellow to come out and he doesn't pit, he would be eligible for the lucky dog. And Bonsignor, is this the shot for the lead that we are expecting? But the yellow beats him to the punch.
We got weather again on the racetrack.
So the rain has come. He is only
on the pace car,
as he is side of Ron.
Here they come. Green flag.
Silk, the lightning bolt at the front of the field. Here comes Christopher inside of Bonsignor. He gets by him by a nostril. Now Nacella moving up into a strong fourth place position.
Yeah, Andrew Krause on the move down on the bottom as well. Look at those 4 cars going for the lead. 3 wide out of turn number 4.
And Nacella drops back a little. It was 3 wide between he, Christopher, and Silk. Now it is Silk reestablishing himself in front. Christopher to the inside of Bonsignor. Power move entering turn number 4 for the 7 car. And he just cannot get even with Bonsignor. The top 5 could fit in a hula hoop, and doing the dancing right now is Ron Silk.
Yeah, Silk out in front, but he's got plenty of company with him. Bonsignor right there. Christopher again trying it on the bottom. He's can't get up the racetrack because Anthony Nocella is there. Add Eric Goodale to the mix, and Andrew Krause right in the thick of things.
Yeah, Goodale stuffed it in underneath Krause. So he is trying to get into the top 5. Mike Christopher off the pace a little in the 4th spot. Going high, Bonsignor has 125 laps remaining, and Bonsignor is in front, and he had to work hard for that. Nacella gets by Silk to move into 2nd.
Yeah, Bonsignor now with a comfortable lead. Nocella in 2nd. Silk shuffled back to 3rd. Good run for Andrew Krause in the 4th spot. Now taking a look down underneath Silk to take that position away.
A better run for Kobe. Remember, he is scored on the lead lap, and he is currently in the number 6 position ahead of Christopher. He is going after Silk.
Yeah, and John McKennedy staging a comeback. He is right behind Kobe in that march to the front.
I haven't counted, but I think McKennedy has passed more cars than anybody in this race, and he is on the verge of passing another one as the 79 gets by Mike Christopher, and John McKennedy is in the top 7. Nacella making a move against Bonsignor, and also there is Krause, a rush by Goodale, but the guy who can keep an eye on McKennedy is now he gets ready to flex his muscles against Silk. He does it. McKennedy is in the top 6.
Yeah, McKennedy stages a great comeback after that caution. Silk, who was leading this thing strongly, is mired back now in the 7th spot. Behind him, Mike Christopher also, who had a great run to the front. So don't know whether that's strategy or where they're able to run at this point, but they are pretty well spread out further back. Up front, it's Bonsignor. He cannot shake the threat of Anthony Nocella, who looks to the bottom of the turn 4.
Rocco on a roll as he is trying to get underneath Mike Christopher. Doesn't do it. At the front, Bonsignor getting another threat from Nacella. Turn number 3 is when it might happen, and Bonsignor was ready for it. He pulls away, and the best battle now is between McKennedy and the 79, and the man in front of him, Doug Kobe, who is running 5th.
Yeah, McKennedy takes it down low into turn 1. Hangs tough right underneath Kobe on the backstretch. Meanwhile, Anthony Nocella takes a peek underneath Bonsignor and gets some speed in the middle of the turn, enough to make the pass. Anthony Nocella is back to the point.
For the second time today, Nacella in the lead. McKennedy was able to get by Kobe, so he is in 5th. And now the next car in front of him is Eric Goodale. Rocco trying again to get underneath Mike Christopher in a battle for 8th place. And he just doesn't have enough oomph to get by that number 7 car.
We talked about the speeds out there. The fastest lap last time was John McKennedy. He has been fast all afternoon, but to make up that difference and get up on Goodale, he was better by almost a couple of tenths on the lap before the last one. So he is on a tear to get back to the front.
As McKennedy only has 14 laps, so work on those tires. Krause going underneath Bonsignor as he tunnels underneath the 151. And the driver with the bounce to his step is Andrew Krause. I think in 2nd place, this is his best position so far in the race.
While the door was open, Eric Goodale walked right in underneath and the number 58 to pick up a spot, and here comes McKennedy. McKennedy makes a move underneath Bonsignor and goes to the 4th spot.
And Bonsignor is right underneath him at the front of the field, Anthony Nocella, but he is only leading by 0.2 of a second over Andrew Kraus. I don't think many people talked up Andrew Kraus as far as winning this race, but he is in the grill of Anthony Nocella.
Here comes Doug Colby now, making a pass on Justin Bonsignor. Those old foes duke it out for position, and Colby gets into the top 5.
McKennedy underneath Goodale. Can he make it stick as they are able to jackhammer their way off the corner? It is dead even right now heading into turn number 1, and McKennedy wins another battle.
Yeah, McKennedy goes to 3rd. He'll try to track down Andrew Kraus and Anthony Nocella. As Kraus is all over the back bumper of Nocella in that battle for the lead.
And Goodale trying to pay back the number 79 of McKennedy. It is not happening. And Kraus, he is trailing by about the length of an ironing board over the 92 of Nocella. Ronnie Silk is running all by himself in the number 7 spot. And then a little more action is Rocco getting a threat from Moeller. Moeller is
lap times on these guys, and that time Andrew Kraus was the fastest. John McKennedy second fastest. So Kraus with a head of steam, just looking for that opportunity to get underneath Anthony Nocella. Maybe it's now. Here they come out of turn 4.
And Nocella is in a hurry.
Yeah, he's able.
Kraus is there trying to get some forward momentum, and Nocella is up to the task.
Yep, Kraus hanging down on the inside. This time Nocella protects the bottom out of turn 4 and leads another lap. Meanwhile, Kraus about to come under attack from John McKennedy.
And it's a pretty severe attack.
Yeah, look at the move by McKennedy. He drove in deep and gets underneath Kraus. It's a drag race down the backstretch, but McKennedy trying to dispatch of Kraus. He'll try it again out of turn 4.
Any deeper, McKennedy would have wound up at the Thompson Dam. Instead, he winds up in second, and now he'll be going after Nocella. Remember, Nocella pitted for tires on lap number 163, and McKennedy on lap number 171. It doesn't seem like there should be much of a difference, but let's see how it plays out.
McKennedy a little quicker than Nocella that time, and if that keeps up, he'll evaporate that lead that Nocella has. Nocella trying to get away, but McKennedy is able to crawl right back up to him and when they get into the turn. So McKennedy getting through the turn pretty well.
A solo mission for Doug Colby all by himself in 5th place. And then it is Bonsignor who has faded to 6th, and it looks like McKennedy, he is poised to strike as he wandered to the outside to get momentum against Nocella.
He is ready as he tries the bottom, and again, he does it. Drives in deep, almost 2 wheels in the infield, but he makes the pass, and McKennedy back to the lead. So maybe that strategy that we questioned about waiting 2 pit stops to come in and get tires is going to pay off for McKennedy, because we're just about to be 100 laps from the end, and McKennedy is back in the lead.
And he used a roller coaster move against Nocella. Now it is Kraus who has an opportunity to try it. Goodale is next, followed by Colby. But the 4 guys in contention right now, McKennedy, Nocella, Kraus, and Goodale. So it was only 8 laps fresher tires for McKennedy, but they work like a charm, and he is on the attack and ready to try to put Craig Lutz a lap down.
Yeah, there's a guy that we saw running in the top 5 most of the afternoon, and now he's going a lap down. McKennedy guides around the 0.6 of Craig Lutz to put him down a lap. Next in 2 laps.
McKennedy, Kraus, Nocella, Goodale, Colby, Bonsignor, Silk, Rocco, and Mike Christopher.
Boy, what a move Andrew Krause just made. They split the lap car of Matt Swanson. Nocella went to high, hoping to use Swanson as a pick, and Krause drove down underneath Swanson and stayed right with Nocella. That's a great battle for second. Nocella, Krause, and Eric Goodale all right there.
And now Kobe trying to get underneath Swanson. Here is Krause as he swashbuckles his way underneath Nocella. Krause is back in second. Let's see how long he can keep it, because Nocella, he is flash dancing his way on the outside, getting around Goodale. Krause in second, and Goodale trying to invade the top three, and he does.
Yeah, Goodale made a great move there. Just stuck it right into turn 3 and was able to make the pass on Nocella. So Nocella, leading just not all that long ago, is shuffled back to the 4th spot. Kobe is 5th. Bonsignor is 6th.
Now the next mandatory pit stop, lap 246, if we don't have a yellow flag between now and then. John McKennedy, automatic yellow.
In the Thompson, a spin by Craig Lutz out of turn 4.
New shoes behind him. We'll see how that plays out. McKennedy is elected to restart on the inside. Krause underneath him as we are ready to light the fuse.
Green flag is in the air, and McKennedy gets another rocket-like launch at the green flag to lead him down into turn 1. Krause holds on to second, and a side-by-side battle for third between Anthony Nocella and Eric Goodale.
Trouble for Christopher. He is dropping back through the field. A little contact between he and Barrett. Christopher goes on to pit road. He is out of the race for the time being.
Yeah, tough break there as something amiss on the 7 New York. So he ends up going back to his pit stall, and they'll look the car over there jacking up the back of it right now. Meanwhile,
Bonsignor on a tear in the 51.
yeah, he's right there in the back of Eric Goodale, and here comes Doug Kobe working over Anthony Nocella. Kobe makes the pass.
And now here is Goodale under siege. Bonsignor, as he whiplashes his way underneath the 58, he infiltrates the top 3. Kobe is behind him, and Goodale trying to stay with him.
Yeah, Goodale trying to fight both of them off at the same time. But there's 2 stars of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour running right together. Justin Bonsignor and the number 10 of Doug Kobe.
The interval between McKennedy and Krause is 0.8. Between McKennedy and Bonsignor, 1.0.
Here comes Bonsignor now with a move on Krause. Down on the inside, he will take the spot. And also moving to the inside, Doug Kobe. Kobe's really come to life in that Mayhew Tools number 10, and he moves up to the 3rd spot.
Yeah, he bazookas his way underneath Krause, so he is back into 3rd. Now Rocco on the attack underneath Krause. So this is the first time for an extended period of time we have seen Keith Rocco act like Keith Rocco. Most of the time after the yellows, he is dropped back. Ron Silk almost made it 3 wide.
Yeah, some of these guys that came in for the pit stops are benefiting with this new rubber at this point.
Silk was one of those drivers who came in, and Goodale was one of those guys who stayed out.
Lap time shows Doug Kobe the fastest last lap, then Justin Bonsignor, followed by John McKennedy. Yeah, they are making up some time right now, Bonsignor and Kobe. Trouble up here in turn number 4. Looks like it could be Eric Goodale up against the wall, right coming out of turn number 4. And yeah,
For a long time for pitting for interesting to see what. And
yeah, most
so no
Goodale number 5 break.
That they wouldn't be able to finish the race on tires. Is one of the tires, which as Ted Christopher will have
Next to John Keith Rocco
hitting for tires on lap 209. McKennedy on lap 171. There is McKennedy on the outside, and he is going to whirlwind his way into the lead. And second is up for grabs. Silk is right there with Bonsignor, and also moving up is Kobe. We have the top 4 cars who could fit in a Dixie Cup in a nipper bottle, and trying to nip away at Bonsignor is McKennedy.
Yeah, McKennedy trying to hold him off, but Bonsignor too strong down there on the bottom. Takes the lead. McKennedy shuffled back to second, and here's Keith Rocco in third.
And Rocco looking for downstairs move against McKennedy. Not there. Rocco played the waiting game for the first 200 laps, but he is active right now. Leading in 5th place is Silk, and then it is Kraus, and Silk getting by Moeller, who is not on the lead lap. The leader, the bandwagon, is Justin Bonsignor, and right behind him is the 79er McKennedy, under attack by Keith Rocco.
Yeah, Rocco made the pass, and he's going to try it again, just like he did last lap. Pull up in front of McKennedy. McKennedy almost has to wait a second before getting back in the throttle. Last time, McKennedy just pulled down and scooted right past Rocco, but this time Rocco will hold the position. He is in second now and chasing Justin Bonsignor.
Rocco doesn't like to be scooted past, and he is holding on to second. But while McKennedy and Rocco and Kobe battle each other, Bonsignor has opened up a lead of almost 0.7 of a second.
Kobe, meanwhile, looking for some running room. He took a peek outside of McKennedy, that time out of turn 2, but falls back in line to 3 of those cars, second, third, fourth, nose to tail.
And it is Rocco. He is the nose, and the tail is Kobe, and in the middle is McKennedy. And Bonsignor continues to expand his lead to about 0.7 of a second. Ronnie Silk is 5th. Kobe making a move against Rocco. He gets under him, trying to twist under the number 57. He comes up with air, and Rocco maintains second. Kobe is after him again, and add to the equation John McKennedy. So a double file battle behind Keith Rocco, surrounded by the enemy.
Yeah, Doug Kobe able to get around John McKennedy and take the spot away. He goes to third. McKennedy shuffled back to the 4th spot.
And Pete, while those 2-3 guys are battling each other, look at Ron Silk. He was far away a couple of laps ago, and now he is about to join the hunt for second place.
Yeah, Silk gets back into the picture, and Kobe goes to work on Keith Rocco. This will be classic down into turn 1. Kobe makes the move, slides up in front of Rocco, and takes over the spots. Kobe goes to second, Rocco third, McKennedy is 4th, Ron Silk is 5th, Chris Pastriak is 6th, Andrew Kraus is 7th, Anthony Nocella is 8th. He's been unable to come back since that pit stop that he just made.
And Bonsignor is leading by 1.139. So almost a second and a half advantage for Justin Bonsignor. And Nocella is mired in 8th place. Kraus is the lead lap driver in front of him. So he's got a long way to go to catch up to Kraus. Rocco in 3rd. McKennedy, he is getting ready to give him something to think about. Ronnie Silk is crowding him for the number 5 spot. Kennedy almost went out of line. Made a lot of moves tonight with that springboard move underneath, going down low and coming up and getting the bottom shot move. Kobe's deficit to Bonsignor, it's almost as big as a debt ceiling, 1.12 seconds.
Well, for a couple of laps, Kobe had been faster than Bonsignor, but that time Bonsignor was a bit quicker. And, of course, both of those guys going faster than Keith Rocco and John McKennedy, at least according to the clock.
So we have 11 cars in the 9th position. Slower cars.
5th. Silk now, he's able to pin Silk.
And
here comes Silk with another run, holds him off once again.
Drivers have had a lot of
that's coming. He was leading this thing, the kind of speed that he had, 36 laps in. We'll see if they take the back of there again.
He was one of so
towards the stop. And so has and Bonsignor starting
East Coast. See if he gets some giddy up there. And Kobe is in danger of falling to third, and he does as Silk gets by him as well as Bonsignor.
Yeah, Silk got by as Bonsignor got a great start. And rockets back to the lead. Silk gives chase in the number 16. Here is Kobe in the third spot, Rocco fourth, McKennedy is fifth.
So McKennedy is right in the mix going after Rocco, and Bonsignor trying to pull away from the combination of Silk and Kobe. Kraus making a move. Remember, he has fresh rubber on that car, and he used it to somersault his way past Pastriak.
This time, Bonsignor can't seem to get away and open the lead that he had before. Silk is stalking him, and Kobe right on the back bumper of Silk. Those three have broken away from Rocco and the rest of the pack.
And Kobe is waiting for Silk to have a starter step. We have a yellow, and it is John Montesanto, the Count. He is in John Deere country, adjacent to the front. Is in the top five.
And Kobe got around Silk to take over the second spot. Now Silk under attack from John McKennedy. McKennedy makes the pass and slides up in front of Silk. So McKennedy back up to third.
And Silk might be running out of rubber in the 16 car. He has to worry about Kraus up at the front. Doug Kobe. He spent the middle part of the race loitering in the middle of the field. And right now, he is trying to derail the number 51 of Bonsignor. Remember, at one time in this race, Doug Kobe was a lap down.
Yeah, and he was able to get that lucky dog and make it back up. Let's check the lap times right now. And yeah, Kobe a little bit quicker than Bonsignor that time. And McKennedy, the third fastest on that last lap. So McKennedy's going to have to turn the wick up if he's going to catch those guys and get into a battle for the lead.
And then it is Silk followed by Kraus to round out the top five. And Rocco having a pretty good battle with Chris Pastriak. That is a fight for the number 6 position. And it is Bonsignor. He has led a lot of laps recently, and he is leading by about the length of a diving board over the number 10 of Kobe. And McKennedy, as you said, he has to turn the wick up. Well, one thing we know about McKennedy, he has a pretty big wick.
For sure, and he was the quickest on the last lap. We'll check the times once again. And he's quickest among the top 3 on that lap. But again, he's got some real estate to cover. If he's going to get up and duke it out with those guys, he's got just another 51 laps to go right now as they cross the stripe.
Yeah, he's got a lot of time if he's got the car. He's got,
and that will.
Cars have Bonsignor, so we'll see if is coming in.
Andrew Kraus,
remember, because to the contention, he will be there. So they are taking.
Bonsignor.
Came out. That was one.
The 75.
Sunoco model. And 52 laps. Okay, not if you were a Wall Stadium fan and saw him in action all season long. He gets off to a great start, but McKennedy gets off to a better start.
Yeah, McKennedy's been getting some great starts when he's starting up front like that, like he's shot out of a cannon, and it happens again. He wants to get out and get away. As he is in the lead, Kraus is in second. There's Tommy Barrett up there, along with Ron Silk and Keith Rocco.
And a crossover move by Silk to try to use it against Barrett, who is in the top 3. Barrett has made a lot of pit stops tonight. Keith Rocco going backwards in car number 57, and Bonsignor trying to get around him.
Yeah, and Kobe's trying to get around Barrett and Matt Swanson. This is all allowing the leaders to break away, including McKennedy. Kraus in second, Silk is third, Matt Swanson is fourth, Doug Kobe now to fifth, and Justin Bonsignor finally gets around Tommy Barrett to go to sixth.
Yeah, he was able to bury that car underneath the four, and he is on the move, but nobody moving quicker than McKennedy. Matt Swanson, he is in the number 4 position, as he has been a lap down in this race. Right now getting a visit from Doug Kobe. So Old Blue is getting an intruder, Doug Kobe, and a healthy lead by McKennedy by almost a full second.
Here comes Silk down underneath Andrew Kraus, trying to take that second spot away. And he gets it. Kraus crossed up. He tried to go to the bottom, and Matt Swanson was there, so he had to get back up on the top pretty quick, and that blocks Doug Kobe from going forward. Here's Matt Swanson underneath Andrew Kraus.
And he also has to fight off Kobe.
Yeah, that's the race for third. And the 3 goes to third. Here's Kraus chopping it right back down again out of 4, trying to protect the bottom, but Doug Kobe is there.
Yeah, Kobe found room, and he is ready to trampoline his way underneath that number 24 car. Also still in contention, making a move is Bonsignor. So Bonsignor, remember, they took a lot of time during their pit stop. Let's see what he can do against Kraus as he aims that car to the inside.
Here is Bonsignor with a move, going down underneath Andrew Kraus. Again, these are the cars with fresher tires from that last caution period.
You heard the swoosh.
Yeah, that went on to pit road. Yeah, you heard that pass, didn't you?
Yeah, as Bonsignor is in a hurry in the 5th place. McKennedy still leading by 0.7 of a second. And Silk, he is 5.
Silk 1 to go.
But it is down to a half a second. So they have enough time if they have a good enough car. Nisella, he has been a survivor today. He is in front of Chris Pastriak. He is in 7th place. Tommy Barrett in 9th. And Silk has definitely made up the deficit. And Silk, he is in a rush, challenging McKennedy for the lead.
Yeah, he pulls right up on the back bumper of McKennedy, ready to give him a run for sure. They're all chasing that $20,000 prize, the winner of the Thompson 300.
And we still have 39 laps to go. So it is a lot of adventure remaining on the agenda. And the lead has shriveled to 0.2 of a second. And Matt Swanson, 21 years old, he is looking for the biggest win of his career.
Well, right now, John McKennedy on defense as he's protecting the bottom of the racetrack.
And sometimes that could be get a driver in trouble because Swanson, Kobe, and Bonsignor are definitely playing offense.
Well, when you're on defense, you can't really run the line that you're comfortable with. And McKennedy knows that Silk is right there. As far as the lap times go, McKennedy had a pretty good lap that time and now puts a little bit of distance between himself and Silk.
So Swanson holding off Kobe for the number 3 spot. Bonsignor in the neighborhood. Then we go back a ways to Kraus in 6, followed by Nisella and by Pastriak. But the plot thickens at the front of the field as every now and then Silk gets a little closer to McKennedy. Let's see what happens as they trample their way out of turn number 4. And McKennedy's lead is 0.3 of a second over Ron Silk.
And that last lap, their lap time was exactly the same, McKennedy and Silk. So McKennedy has found a little more speed here in the last couple of laps because Silk was having the faster laps. We'll check it this time by and see who's who. Silk
and Silk finding coming to him now.
To the Thompson 300.
Before this race at any moment.
We're getting there. And McKennedy definitely with a quicker lap the last time over Silk. And don't know whether that's strategy on Silk's part, hoping to put. And the caution is out. That's Keith Rocco around in turn 4.
And Rocco has struggled in the last 20 laps, I think, in that last lap. And tightening up the field for driver who is still
Point 2 as
very quick. Now Matt goes on pit intended. How laps? Formation inside.
$20,000 worth on the line to win the Thompson 300. It's all down to this. Here they come. Green flag.
McKennedy on schedule gets by. Now Silk is getting challenged by Kobe. Kobe, a little forearm shiver to the back bumper, trying to give him room on the inside. Let's see if he comes. He does. Kobe trying to get into second. Silk hanging with him. They come off the corner. The dash for second is won by Silk.
Yeah, boy, Kobe got a little sideways there in the middle of the turn as he was a little too aggressive trying to get underneath Silk going into the turn. So it's all straightened out now, and they follow each other down the backstretch.
But it cost him a little bit of momentum. Swanson now in fourth, and he is getting a threat from Keith Rocco. Now Rocco just pitted, so he might have a little bit more ammunition than the 4 guys in front of him.
Here comes Silk sizing up McKennedy, trying to get the nose down underneath, and McKennedy will beat him down the front stretch.
Nacella in front of Bonsignor. So Nacella, that car didn't look right, but it is in contention in 6th place with 25 laps to go. Silk, do or die time for him. Make or break move on the inside. McKennedy able to hold him off.
For the time being anyway, Silk hangs tough and he drives in just a little bit deeper, but McKennedy decides he's going to come back to the bottom and try and take the lead back. He's going to shove Silk up to the outside. They're side by side here out of turn 4.
Silk got so deep he gave McKennedy too much room on the inside, and McKennedy exploited it. Now Kobe climbs to the outside. He is trying to figure out a way to get by Silk. The top 3 have pulled away slightly from Keith Rocco as they blister their way off turn number 4. McKennedy could be vulnerable on the inside to Ron Silk, and the yellow comes out.
On strong.
Nacella did it. 24 car. Down to
Justin Bonsignor, 22 laps
left in there.
For the restart.
Is not handling. Go into the route from the.
Trying to hang with John McKennedy as the green flag goes back in the air.
He does hang with him. A bad dash into turn number 2. Ron Silk taking over the lead. Rocco in third. McKennedy, payback. Hitting into turn number 3. McKennedy back in front.
Yeah, McKennedy dives down on the inside. Gives Silk a little bit of a shove there out of turn number 4. Yeah, but Silk hanging tough there on the outside. McKennedy trying to clear him. Gets a little bit of trouble getting through the turn, but he does. And opens up a good-sized lead. Look at Rocco now with a move down underneath Ron Silk. Rocco goes to second.
Yeah, he was able to carve his way underneath Silk. Kobe in 4th in car number 10. And in 5th is Buddy Charette in car number 28. He was hanging around in 11th place for about the last 30 laps, and he has moved into the top 5.
Boy, how about Keith Rocco, who would love to make this a big payday for himself. He rides right on the back bumper of John McKennedy. Now looks to make one of his patented moves down into turn 3. He does, and McKennedy takes a left-hand turn and goes back by him.
And Silk now puts pressure on Rocco. So Rocco had the lead for about 2 seconds. McKennedy gets it back. What will Rocco do? He makes a bottom shot attempt. Will it pay off?
Going to do it again. This time he tries to hold up McKennedy a little bit and break his momentum, but McKennedy comes right back on the inside.
And Rocco surges in front in turn number 2. Rocco trying to hold off McKennedy. Now maybe it will be McKennedy's turn to tomahawk his way underneath him, but he is a victim to Ron Silk. For the first time in this race, on lap number 284, Rocco has become a lap leader.
Yeah, well, McKennedy might have tried that move to go to the bottom, but it was occupied by Ron Silk. So now he's got to chase Rocco again and give it a shot, as Silk's going to try the inside once again.
Kobe in fourth, Buddy Charette in fifth. Thompson, you are right now a distant 6. And Keith Rocco. This would be one of the most impressive moments of his career, less than 15 laps away.
Here is Silk again, taking a peek down underneath John McKennedy, but can't get it done. McKennedy is preoccupied with trying to get up alongside Keith Rocco.
McKennedy had a little room. Let's see if that room expands as they reach turn number 3. Not yet. Rocco, a pretty difficult driver to pass, but he's never had to worry about a guy the caliber of McKennedy too many times in his career. Here comes McKennedy again. Veto power by Rocco. Silk is still a factor as they have opened up some room between them and the fourth place car at Gobi.
Well, Rocco on defense, and he may have to get a shove from McKennedy if McKennedy wants to move him out of the way.
Lane change. McKennedy trying for the lead.
Going way down low and sticking there down underneath Keith Rocco. They pretty much bounce off of each other out of turn 2, and McKennedy has to retreat a little bit.
And McKennedy went into Death Valley to try to make that move, and Rocco stayed alive. Down to the final 10 and a half laps. And McKennedy, you know he is capable of that bottom shot at any time. Keith Rocco protecting his turf. Down to the final 10 laps. Rocco 10 laps away from the biggest payday of his career.
And John McKennedy's in trouble as he drops to the bottom of the racetrack, and Silk gets around him. They all go by him.
Buddy Charette trying to get underneath Kobe. Buddy Charette is in third place.
He gets around Doug Kobe, and it looks like we're going to end up getting a caution because John McKennedy is slow on the bottom of the racetrack and not moving at all. Caution is out.
And the caution comes just before Rocco. And it's a go to get that any were modified. Boy, that was a pretty Rocco playing the way to the 6 car. He is on today, or it's a big trophy.
Rocco gets a good start.
Better than Silk, beating him into turn 1.
And Silk trying to stay with him. Doug Kobe right there with Ron Silk has moved back into third. Now the 92 of Anthony Nocella going to work on Buddy.
They whiplash off the corner. The man, the fastest pony in the merry-go-round, Keith Rocco, into turn number 4. Kobe, is he capable of a last hurrah? Charette in fourth, followed by Nocella. Then a battle between Swanson and Kraus for the number 6 spot.
Racetrack, and now he's
pulling away from Silk. Closest battle, third and fourth. Kobe, Buddy Charette. Also there is Nocella and Swanson. But the spotlight is on Keith Rocco.
5 laps to go this time. 5 for Rocco, and he continues to pull away and turning in some fast laps too, as he is faster than the rest of the field at this point.
On most Sunday afternoons, Keith Rocco is on his boat with his family. But right now, his ship is about to come in 4 laps if he can maintain his advantage over Ron Silk.
Off the second turn and down the backstretch, Silk by himself in second. Buddy Charette in third. Here's Anthony Nocella trying the inside of the inside of Doug Kobe to take that spot away. And Matt Swanson on the move into number 3.
So Keith Rocco exiting turn 2. Ron Silk falling behind. The advantage is 0.8 of a second for Rocco. Buddy Charette back in third, 1 spot ahead of Nocella. 2 laps to go. The countdown is started for Keith Rocco.
Yeah, Rocco has opened up a big lead One of the biggest leads we've seen here this afternoon, and he continues to run away from Ron Silk. Buddy Charette all by himself in the third spot, and now Anthony Nocella in a comfortable fourth as they go under the white flag. 1 lap left to the Thompson 300.
And this could be the most lucrative lap in Keith Rocco's racing career, as he is able to swish his way into turn number 3. Here comes Keith Rocco coming out of turn number 4. And Keith Rocco has rocked the house and has won the Thompson 300.
Yeah, and a mix-up between Buddy Charette and the 16. We got Charette second, Silk third, Anthony Nocella fourth, and Matt Swanson comes through to finish fifth.
Wow, what a dramatic final lap. Buddy Charette, I think and Rocco celebrating. Despite his success and despite his championships, there was always a knock on him. He was a Saturday night driver, a 30 lap, a 40 lap guy.